The ANC says the party's upcoming conference will continue. This despite some party veterans who had called for a consultative conference saying that they will not be attending.
So, of course, now the Consultative and Policy Conference linked. The party initially decided to allocate 2 days ahead of the Policy Conference to discuss, among others, the veterans' concerns. ANC Secretary General Mantashe says those 2 days will still be used to consolidate unity within the party. Meanwhile, the ANC is hosting a gala dinner ahead of that policy conference tomorrow. Griselda Lewis was joining us live from Nasrec, south of Johannesburg. Griselda, let's see if we can touch base again. The president expected to speak soon.
Well, Francis, this evening we can certainly say this gala dinner kickstarts the ANC Policy Conference, which of course gets underway tomorrow, where certainly everybody will be watching what policies the ANC will come up with to move the country as well as the economy forward. Well, the delegates, the guests, have also started arriving. The Secretary General of the ANC has already arrived here, as well as the Treasurer General Zweli Mkhize, who is expected to lead the gala dinner this evening, before the keynote address will be given by President Jacob Zuma. But let me just chat very quickly to the Minister in the Presidency, as well as the Head of Policy, Jeff Radebe. Thank you very much for your time this evening, sir. Quite important for the African National Congress, in particular starting tomorrow, to come up with policies that will benefit South Africans, moving the country and the economy forward.
Yes, indeed. It's a big day starting from tomorrow, where we're holding our National Policy Conference to chart the way forward in preparation for the national conference that is taking place in December of this year. But what is important is that there are many issues that are going to be discussed, including the opening address by the President to set the scene, and also the diagnostic report by the Secretary General, and also a report in terms of how far we've gone in implementing the National Development Plan, a presentation that I'm going to be making, including Natim Tetwa on strategy and tactics, and Fikile Mbalula on organizational renewal. So what is important is that all the delegates that are going to be gathering here tomorrow until the 5th of July, they are deeply committed in making sure that we move this country forward in order to ensure that a better life for the people of South Africa can be attained.
How possible is that? Because, of course, you know, the African National Congress comes to this policy conference very divided. We know that there are issues with the ANC veterans who have raised some concerns with the African National Congress. Does that not take a piece away from some of the discussions, perhaps, that need to take center stage when you talk about radical economic transformation, how to move the economy forward, given that South Africa is in a recession at the moment? So you've got veterans who are saying the ANC has not listened to some of their concerns and have decided to boycott this event.
Well, the doors of the ANC has not been shut. Everybody, including the veterans and the Stalwarts 101, they are welcome into the ANC. If they do not come tomorrow, any other day we're going to be sitting down with them, because the issues that confront the organization is not only being felt by them only, but the entirety of the organization. That is why for the first 3 days, in fact, we'll be discussing all those organizational renewal with the view of taking the ANC forward and changing the course for a better future.
How possible is that if you've got members of the ANC who are saying we want to be part of the African National Congress, but we're not getting the desired responses in terms of the challenges that currently face the African National Congress?
Well, if you look at the organizational renewal discussion document, all the issues that the veterans are raising, they're even raised even more sharply by this discussion document. There are no holy cows in the ANC. All issues that confront the organization, we're going to be dealing with them head on, including the issue of the economy, because you know we are in a technical recession. But in this policy conference, we're going to be coming up with recommendations of what kind of policies we confirm, which policies we amend, and what new policies we can be able to adopt in December, so that we can be able to deal with this triangle of poverty, unemployment, and inequality.
Mr. Radebe, many would say that perhaps, this policy conference is a proxy to the elective conference which is coming up in December, and all eyes seem to be focused on that instead of the policies which you say will take the country forward. Names have been thrown forward as well of particular individuals supporting particular individuals in the leadership of the African National Congress. How dangerous would that be if that instead is thrown forward instead of discussing these very policies which would perhaps rectify some of the challenges that the country is facing?
Not at all. There's no proxy in this National Policy Conference. We're going to be discussing the strategy and tactics, the organizational issues and all the policy areas, economic transformation, social transformation, peace and stability. Those are the issues that are going to dominating this policy conference. The issues of leadership, as the NEC has indicated, that will be from September when the nominations are going to be open. So I'm very trustful and confident that the delegates of the ANC that are going to be coming here tomorrow will be dedicating their mind, their efforts and energy on the issues that confront the organization in terms of policy.
Thank you very much for your time. We've run out of time there. The Minister in the Presidency, Jeff Radebe, as well as the Head of Policy, quite confident that some of the key issues facing the ANC as well as the country are what will take centre stage until the 5th of July as this policy conference gets underway. We're still expecting President Jacob Zuma to make his way here to Nasrec any moment now, where we're expecting him to touch on many issues relating to how these delegates should emerge from here more unified and stronger.
All right, we'll take that address from the President live when it gets underway at Nasrec.
Well, at the same